Hello, my name's Andrew Brooks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And the last video was so popular, I thought I'd do a part two. So here's more unusual British phrases and words used in Beatles songs. Thank you once again for joining me on my YouTube channel. All I can say is, wow, the last video I did of these unusual and British phrases and words and things in Beatles songs was so popular. So many subscribers and so many people commented saying, what does this mean and what does that mean? So I decided to do an episode 2. So if it's still popular, I'll do more videos in the future. I'd just like to point out that I'm only explaining words or phrases that are used within British society or in the British vocabulary. I'm not trying to put my point of view of what the songs mean. So, you know, quite a lot of people were on the remarks in the last one. We're discussing for a fish finger pie in the Penny Lane video. Now, that's not a common phrase used in British society, and I'll leave you guys to read the remarks, but it's not something that we use on a day-to-day basis. So as I said, I'm just explaining what words and like everyday phrases are in the British language. First up, we have a question from at K4166W, and he asks, who is Matt Busby that's mentioned in the Dig It song from Let It Be? Okay, Matt Busby was a legendary person in football. When I say football, I mean British football, not American football, for all you non-Brits, soccer. But yeah, for us Brits, it's football. He played for Manchester City as well as other teams, but he played for Manchester City, and then he became football manager, the manager of the team for Manchester United. And he had such a terrific team that they named them the Busby Babes. Sadly, there was a terrible plane crash. I think it was in Munich, I stand to be corrected, and 8 of his team died in this plane crash. It was horrific. But that's who Matt Busby was, and that's who John Lennon referenced in Let It Be in the song Dig It. Sticking with the Let It Be album, John introduces one of the songs as I Dig a Pygmy by Charles Hawtrey and the Deaf Aids. Well, this is Charles Hawtrey.
Oh, hello.
Now, Charles Hawtrey was a British comedy actor and director for theatre and in films as well. He was born in 1914 and he had a hugely extensive film career, but probably for British people, his best known films were the Carry On series of films, which is very British seaside humoury, sort of bit bawdy, a little bit double entendre. And if you haven't seen them and you want to check out British comedy, just check out Carry On films. Charles Hawtrey, he's probably one of the mainstay characters. He was in most of them, I believe. And no matter what period the film was set in, he always wore his glasses, which are John Lennon style round glasses. He played a range of characters, from like a wimpish sort of guy to quite an effeminate sort of person. And I believe he was even a spy in Carry On Spying. So yeah, Charles Hawtrey from Charles Hawtrey and the Deaf Aids. Penny Lane seems to be a big one for non-British fans because some of the terms within the song Penny Lane. In fact, we've got Chris Owen Guitar, at Sam Berry 1000 and many more, all asked about the same thing. What is a Mac? The banker never wears a Mac when he goes out in the pouring rain. Well, I can tell you, a Mac is short for Macintosh, and it was a Macintosh coat, which was like a raincoat to keep you dry if you was out in the rain. It was invented back in 1824 by Charles Macintosh. And it went through lots of different stages, and nowadays people just generally refer to a raincoat as a Mac, even if it's not a Macintosh. Even Paul McCartney references it in his Coming Up video, because the band are called the Plastic Macs, which is obviously a play on words for him, for McCartney, and also for plastic Macs, which people wore around about that time. It's just a raincoat to keep you dry, but I don't know why the banker never wore it in the pouring rain. Sam Berry 1000, it's great, these names, at Sam Berry 1000, also asked in the Penny Lane song about the nurses selling poppies from a tray. Now, from other comments that I've had, it seems that if English isn't your first language, or if you're not used to hearing the British version of English, you're used to hearing the American one, it can sound like pretty nurses selling puppies from a tray. No, don't get me wrong, she's not selling little dogs on a tray. The poppies that are referenced in the song are actually, they're sold leading up to the 11th of November, which was Armistice Day, and we have Remembrance Sunday on the Sunday around about that time. And people buy these poppies, and it goes towards supporting veterans, military veterans who fought in, well, I mean, the Second World War, First World War. I don't think there are any left now. But it goes to support them and other veterans from other conflicts, the Falklands, Afghanistan, Iraq. It's just a fundraising thing which culminates on Remembrance Sunday. So leading up to there, like 2 or 3 weeks before Remembrance Sunday, you will see people wearing poppies, and they're like little paper poppies with a plastic stem and a paper leaf or cardboard leaf. So they're cheaply manufactured. People can just give whatever they want. Nowadays you can get plastic poppies, metal poppies. You can get poppy keyrings, poppy T-shirts, and it all goes towards the Royal British Legion and other military charities for veterans. Now moving on to the White Album, at Frank Ottent 3769. He asked, in Revolution 9, you can hear someone mention the Watusi. What is a Watusi? There's two different meanings to the Watusi. Firstly, the Watusi was a dance from like the early 60s, and you did it on your own, and sort of, it's a kind of like line dancing from what I can see. I've never performed the Watusi, so I couldn't really tell you what it entails, but I have been doing a little bit of research for you. This is a short little clip of people doing the Watusi, and as you can see, they're sort of dancing on their own, but they're all in like a formation, so it's kind of like a formation dance, or as I say, like a line dance. And people are really getting into it, as you can see in this video. So that is the Watusi. Now the Watusi are also an ethnic group of people from the African Great Lakes area region. So they're sort of like indigenous people to this particular area of Africa. So they're like the Watusi tribe, so to speak. But it's made up of lots of different groups of people, including, and this is sort of brings you back to Let It Be, the Pygmy tribe. So they were also classed as Watusi. Who knew? Now, at Spiral Arch, they have requested two things, and I'll allow them to, because they're quite interesting things, and several other people have also asked, so I may as well include them. The first one they ask about is, what is a yellow lorry? Okay, a lorry in English and British terms is basically a large truck. It's like an articulated truck or articulated lorry. I think it was originally sort of designed for heavy duty use, sort of around mines and things like that, from what I read on the internet. But yeah, a lorry is basically a very large truck, and it's yellow. The second thing that at Spiral Arch and other people asked was, what's a Helter Skelter, as in the song from the White Album, Paul's song from the White Album. Okay, Helter Skelter is a very tall and large funfair or seaside slide, basically. They're usually hollow in the middle, as you can see from this video clip I'm showing. And then you get to the top, and then you sit in or on sort of like a Hessian sack, and you slide around the outside of the Helter Skelter, as you can see in the video here. And as they say in the, or as the Beatles sing in the lyrics to the song, when I get to the bottom, I go back to the top of the slide. So you basically walk up the stairs, go around the slide, and then do it all over again for fun. Well, I hope you enjoyed me explaining a few more little sort of notes and words and phrases that we use in the UK that were incorporated in Beatles songs. And I do know that if English isn't your first language, some of the phrases can seem a little bit odd. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. I will be doing more. If you're not a subscriber, firstly, why not? But secondly, all you need to do is just click the subscription button down here. And secondly, I've now started up a Buy Me Coffee account. So if you like what I'm doing and you want to show some appreciation, there's a link below this video in the remarks, and it's basically buy me a coffee, throw a couple of quid down the internet at me, and also it then helps me keep the channel going, helps me to buy records and stuff for future content. So if you feel so desired, just click on the link. If not, don't worry, it's no biggie, just enjoy it for free. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.